Hi everyone, I'm your host Chinny, and today we have the privilege to dive into the extraordinary life of Danielle, a true embodiment of resilience and strength. Danielle's story is one of the triumph in the face of adversity. Throughout her life, she has encountered numerous challenges, and as a Scrum Master in a male-dominated industry, right, Danielle was actually already accustomed to navigating complex projects, leading teams with her unwavering focus and infectious energy. But her greatest test came about during her weakest time of life. 7 years ago, immediately after childbirth, Danielle had to endure the physical and emotional strain of watching her 10 days old son go through a critical open heart surgery due to the presence of a heart defect. It was a time filled with unimaginable pain and heartache as she bravely stood by her son's side, providing unwavering love and support. However, Danielle's strength was further tested when she received the life-altering diagnosis of an aggressive breast cancer in January last year. Thankfully, she was able to detect it in its early stages and has been receiving treatment for it since. Despite all that has happened, Danielle refused to let adversity define her and never lost sight of her purpose, which is to inspire others and to make a difference. Today on Chin Up and Rise, Danielle joined us to share her remarkable story of overcoming adversity, finding strength in the face of unimaginable challenge, and also to emerge as a beacon of hope for many. Join us as we dive into Danielle's story of triumph, discussing how she navigated the darkest moments, found solace in the support of her loved ones, and also discovered her true purpose in empowering others. Hi Danielle, welcome to the set.
Hi, I'm Danielle here. I'm the mother of two beautiful kids, and thanks for inviting me to this podcast.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so how I'd like to start the conversation, right, is have you ever, when do you actually thought that, I want to be an accountant? Like all along, do you actually want to be an accountant?
Yeah, I would lie to you if I say that I've always wanted to be an accountant.
Yeah.
But my mom was actually an accountant. And so there's this advice that she had given. She said every company needs an accountant. If you're an accountant, you will run out. You will never go out of job.
Yeah, 铁饭碗啦.
对，铁饭碗. So yeah, that's why I took my bachelor in accountancy in NTU.
Okay.
Yeah,
so can you actually give us a brief, like a summary of, the kind of environment that you actually grew up in?
Okay, I actually grew up in a very, very loving and close-knit family. So I have a younger brother. And, my parents are just normal parents. We are not like super rich. I would say that maybe in that point in time, we are quite poor.
Okay.
Because there's only my father who is earning the breadwinner, and then he's like supporting the whole family. But then regardless, right, we were given everything that we wanted. And, we spent a lot of time as a family going on outings and spending a lot of time talking to each other. So everything I can actually confide in my parents. So that's the kind of environment that I grew up in. And I think it helps a lot.
Okay, and of course, 7 years ago, I believe that 7 years ago, when your career is also starting to slowly pick up, right? That was also when your son was born, and understand that he actually had to go through open heart surgery due to some presence of heart defect, right?
Yeah.
So at that point of time, would you say that was actually the lowest point in your life?
Yes, it was a low point in my life. I mean, it's like if you look at if I look at the video or the pictures now of my son, I'm like, oh, so poor thing. He's like so many. Yeah. So and he was in the NICU for months, and he had to have this surgery. It's a 10-hour surgery, and it's like the day that they push him into the operating theater, it's like you say bye bye, and then it's like you don't know whether he will come out.
Yeah. And he was only 10 days old, right?
10 days old.
When he had to go for the surgery.
Correct.
So at the point of time, how do you actually handle your emotions?
Okay, luckily I have very supportive. My husband is very supportive. So he's the one who actually, pushed my boy into the operating theater. I was at home. And I tried my best to distract myself, but it's really tough. So for the 8 hours, it was quite hell. But loving family, very supportive friends, and my husband is also very supportive.
Yeah.
And it's really, and also I'm someone who is actually quite positive. To me, right, it's like if you want to get something right, you must have positive thoughts. And you must always, pray for it and believe that God will help you. And yeah.
But I mean, positive thoughts, how do you actually cultivate or like train yourself to have that?
Okay, I think I'm a person who is more positive than negative. You know, some people are just negative energy.
Yes.
I think I'm lucky to be in the more positive
Yeah.
energy person.
Was
So
it due to maybe like in the beginning when you grew up, some of the environment or things that you do?
Yeah, I think maybe I grew up in a very healthy environment.
Yeah.
Firstly. And then I'm always very grateful for what I have. I always compare to people who are actually worse off. So
Okay.
then I will feel that, actually I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
Every day, like no matter what I do, right, I always like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful. Okay, today should be a very good day already. You know, that kind. So I always have that kind of thought.
Focusing
I
on
don't know
the
how to
focusing on the brighter things in life.
Yeah. So if you ask me whether during that time I'm depressed, I don't think I am, because to me is how to solve the issue.
Okay.
Now my, like for example, my boy was diagnosed with that heart defect, not when he was born, when I was 21 weeks old,
Okay.
pregnant.
So you actually knew that.
So I knew that. And then to me is the next step is whether I want to keep the baby.
Okay.
Right. So then I asked my doctor, like, what are the steps that I have to do? So I followed it. I just how to say, just focus on getting it resolved.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Went for genetic tests, went for amniotic tests, everything that I've done. Okay, prognosis of the baby is good. It's like I'm a very method person. Yeah.
Solutions driven.
Correct. So then, okay, fine. The prognosis is good. Find a doctor. Then the next day we're thinking about cost, right? Going to NUH instead of private hospital to give birth and things like that. So I plan.
Okay.
And to me, working towards a plan, the end goal, even like, the doctor say I have to feed the baby, like feed myself until the baby is very heavy. So when my baby was born, it was really heavy, like 4 kg.
Eat more, right?
Eat a lot of avocado.
Oh, eat a lot of avocado.
Drink a lot of avocado juice. Eat a lot of cheese tart. So that's what I did.
I think that's a good life though.
For the last 2 months of my pregnancy, I did that just to grow the baby. Yeah, for the surgery.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's really true. And so after he was born, right? Within 10 days, he lost 1 over kg. He becomes scrawny, because he cannot actually ingest a lot of milk.
Absorb the food lah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why the doctor actually asked
you have to build him up. If not, when he go into the surgery, that's higher risk 嘛。你越小就越风险越大。
Okay. Understand. I mean, so from whatever I hear, it's not because you are naturally positive, but I think it's because whenever things happen, you don't even have time to think about the negativity or like the negative side of things. Because every time you are met with a situation, right, your brain will actually launch to a solutions-driven
Correct. Because to me, right, like being sad or whatever, right, it's not going to
solve
the problem.
Right.
I'm a problem solver. I need to solve the problem.
And the way you actually solve it is actually you have a plan.
Yes.
So forward-looking, solutions-driven, and how can you actually go about doing it? So by writing down or like by penning down your thoughts, I believe you'll be able to have a better
Actually,
idea.
it's more of discussing with my husband.
Discussion with my husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going through the whole plan in the head and then discussing with your loved one, getting his buy-in, because it's a 2-person thing. Cannot be I want the child, no matter what I want, then he don't want, right? So I think that helps. Yeah.
So were you already on maternity leave when
I was on hospital leave? Yeah, hospital leave. So I was in hospital, not in hospital, but I was on hospital leave for about a month plus.
The moment you received that news.
Yeah, because I also have another condition, right? My ankylosing spondylitis. So that is an autoimmune disease of the bone.
Correct.
It's quite rare as well, but in females, it hits. It hits the male more often and more severe, but very rare in females. So when I was pregnant, when the baby was very heavy, I can't really walk because I was in pain, but I cannot eat the painkiller.
Because of the baby.
Because of the baby, I cannot eat my painkiller, and then I have to pump myself with morphine. Eat the morphine at home.
Oh.
Hey, I didn't know, So actually morphine is prescribed to patients. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those that have
Wait, but even if you have a baby, you also can
eat morphine.
eat morphines lah. It won't affect baby in
No.
any way. Okay, that's interesting.
That's interesting, right? I also find it, I'm like, morphine.
真的吗？
真的. So
Okay.
because at the last part of my pregnancy, I was not very mobile.
Mm,
So so I have to, it's really 不可以走，then 又不可以吃 painkiller， 没有办法吃 morphine.
Right, okay. So for those of you wondering, right, actually, Danielle actually have this autoimmune condition called
Ankylosing spondylitis.
yes, I'll probably spell out the words here. Yeah, a bit hard for me to pronounce, but it's basically the bones will
The bones will sort of like inflame. Even autoimmune is like your body is attacking your own
immune
system, right?
Yeah.
So this one is specific on the bones.
Yes. Correct.
So it can be anywhere that I'm painful. I'm actually painful every day.
Yeah. So she's actually has been suffering this from 18 years
Since
old?
19.
19 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why her pain tolerance
It's very high.
is very high.
So recently on Sunday, I just went for a spinning class with 3 good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like after that, they were like complaining about all the pain. Then actually, then
But you
they
don't
ask
feel
me-
anything.
Yeah, I don't feel anything because I tell them that actually to me it's very normal. It's just pain, right?
I think that also contributes to why you are so able to be forward looking and be positive in general, because the things that you have already gone through is really, you are already like immune to it in a sense.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Also, I always compare down like what I say. Right, I have a very good friend from uni that have gone through much more than me.
Yeah.
I always think about people who are less fortunate.
Mm.
I don't know. I think that makes me feel that I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Every time I have something, I just feel that I cannot keep thinking, oh, how come, how come it's me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so if you are always thinking of people who are maybe not doing it as well, then how do you keep yourself competitive and how do you make yourself continue to grow?
Oh, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. I think I'm an alpha, competitive nature.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to, even in school, my primary school, I have to like 一定要拿第一名的.
Okay.
So like 每年都拿第一名, you know, that kind.
Then it's sort of contradict ma. 因为you always be
No, but then
comparing
it's
to-
different, you see. You feel grateful because you're comparing not... Okay, so I don't compare people. I don't say, oh, I compare to people who are poorer. That is different.
Okay.
Correct, right? Have less financial means.
Yeah.
That is different. Do much worse in career. That's a different thing. But I'm comparing to someone who, not by their own choice or their whatever hard work or, you know, that there's no choice. And they are inflicted with this misfortune. So there's a difference. So whatever I compete in, right, is different from the other. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be very clear of what we are actually comparing against and what's the intention behind this comparison. So for example, for Danielle, right, when she compares, it's really to tell herself that she's grateful for whatever she has. And when she actually pushes herself to grow more, that's when she actually compares to those people who are actually doing better in terms of the things that she wants to improve in. So that's how you actually stay humble, at the same time continue to push yourself to achieve greater heights.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah. You must be very clear of the intention behind all kinds of comparisons.
Yeah. I won't say I'm like expert or whatever. It's just like after 活了40多年
Oh, you just exposed.
it's fine. 40多年了 then you learn to compartmentalize and you learn like what is important in life. How to manage like stress, how to manage when things don't go your way.
So how do you manage your stress?
Actually, it's a very good question. You know, my cancer. Oh, yeah. Talking about my cancer, right?
Yes.
So I actually have breast cancer last year as well.
Yes. And it was an aggressive one, right?
Yeah, it was aggressive, invasive. But luckily, it was just stage 1. So
Stage 1 or stage 0?
Stage 1.
Stage 1.
Okay, so there's a difference. Stage 0 means that the cancer is still within the tumor. Stage 1 is the cancer already spread outside the tumor, but it's just around. It has not spread to other organs.
Yeah.
Have not spread past your lymph nodes.
Okay.
Okay. So so I was stage 1. But then luckily I detected in time because maybe within a few months it might have been spread and then I have to go for chemo. So I actually didn't need to go for chemo. I went for 1 month of radiotherapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, do you already felt weird about it?
No, nothing. So the thing is, that's why I asked my doctor, I say, hey, I checked my breast on it. How come I didn't
Detecting.
feel anything?
Yeah.
Then she said that stage 1 is that the tumor is less than 2 cm. Anything less than 2 cm, human hands cannot
feel.
feel.
Oh.
But if it's more than 2 cm, when you can feel it, that is stage 2 and onwards already, which means you will need chemo already.
2 cm 是 like this?
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah. So 你会按得到的。
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what my breast surgeon told me. And then luckily, I also very lucky because I was telling you, right, didn't manage to get a slot for that annual health checkup, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly a clinic tell me, oh yeah, we have a slot now. If not, I would have just skipped that year. And then that's it already,
Yeah.
So I think the advice to women is we have to protect ourselves. We have to go for annual health checkup, right? Do the mammogram if you are over 40. And then, really have to. And then, like the first doctor, after I got the results, right, the first doctor I went to, he said, oh, 3 months later, you come back and review. Then I'm that kind of person, right? I need an answer one. I cannot, I hang there 3 months later, then I come back, right? So then I went to see a second doctor and he's like, she saw, oh, yeah, it's irregular shape. So, tumor, right, is more or less irregular shape. So if your tumor is round, right, it's more like benign. Yeah. So then, so immediately I'll remove. Then the next week, I just do the surgery, remove the half the breast.
Okay. Oh, so the first doctor actually told you that actually it's nothing much?
No, to be fair, he never said nothing much, but he said, let's monitor. Okay. So there's different approach by different doctors.
Right, so actually if you waited 3 months, you will have to go for chemo already?
You never know.
Oh.
You never know. You don't know how fast it will grow. It's aggressive.
Yeah. Wow, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
So how
I
do you
always
count your blessings?
Yeah, I always count my blessing, right?
And that's the reason why every time you wake up, you're like, oh, I'm grateful for today.
Yeah, grateful.
Because of what you actually went through before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at that point, back to the topic on how you manage stress. Yeah. So how do you feel when
I digress already, right? Because my breast cancer, the doctor says due to stress.
Oh.
Because you can actually test when it's from like protein or is it from hormones? So it's actually from my hormonal imbalance.
Also, there's different maybe
driver of the cancer. Different. So anyway, was tested and then I'm a more 感觉 person. I walk 我走路也是比人家快，讲话也比人家快。I just talk very fast and I'm that kind of perfectionist, right? OCD. My house has to be really clean. Then everything in my life has to be perfect. Everything down to the calendar. Everything, right? So I stress myself a lot.
Self-imposed stress.
Yes, self-imposed stress. So after that, I take up yoga.
Okay.
So I go to yoga, gentle yoga.
Yeah.
Learn breathing, slow down, deep breath. And then I got very supportive colleagues. So they know. And then they were like, Danielle, take deep breath. Danielle, are you okay? They keep checking on me, right? And actually, now we are very fortunate. They are male colleagues.
Oh.
They are my male colleagues who
That's
are
very
giving
nice.
giving me the support. And
Okay. So the way you actually deal with stress right now is to tell yourself to slow down.
Slow down, take deep breath, 不用赶火车, just know that stress-induced cancer is real. It's real.
And the scary thing is that in Singapore, right, our stress level is actually the highest. So
even when you go on the road, 你要走很快, then 前面的车顶你, like because that person 60, right, going at 60 kilometers per hour, but in the first lane, right, you can't give yourself stress over this, right? Actually, it's not good. So we really have to learn to take things more lightly. So you know what happened, right? So when 我走路很快的时候, I realized that, right? Then I was like, okay,
slow down.
Let me walk slow.
你要赶去哪里？
要赶去哪里, right?
Okay. So in terms of family, how did your family take it when you told them that?
Actually, my husband, he's also a very solution. He's like, no scared. Okay,
no scared.
It's first stage only. Let's ask for the doctor's opinion, and then let's get it done. Okay, no matter what. Anyway, like I say, right, support from loved one is very important. So he was very, very supportive. And then we talked about the solution and everything. I did cry. So when the doctor told me, right, I'm like, but I was not sad or whatever. The first thing I asked the doctor, okay, what's the worst case scenario? Okay, then what is the next thing I need to do?
Yeah.
Come already, right? What's the next thing I need to do?
Mm.
Then I say, okay, so then we set the date. So it's very fast. I know, and then next week I went for the operation already.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, it's like get rid of the problem, get rid of the tumor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
So that's how I deal with it. Like how I always deal with things. And then I have supportive family, and my children, of course, they are still young. They don't really know. But lucky enough, it was like it was okay lah.
Okay.
It was all day surgery.
It's a day surgery?
Yeah, both days. So the first one is to remove the tumor. Was a day surgery. And then the second one to remove the tissue around the tumor.
Yeah.
It was also a day surgery.
How about now? Do you need to go for follow-up?
Yeah, so every 3 months I have to see 4 doctors. The gynae,
4 doctors.
the breast surgeon, the oncologist, and my rheumatologist.
Okay. Because there is a possibility of relapse, is it?
There is, yeah. So within the first 2 years for cancer, it is the most critical period.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the relapse is higher chance. Then only after 5 years, then you are declared cancer free.
Okay, so now you are
on medication.
Second year
Second year.
on medication.
So it's already, so last year, January. So 1 year plus.
1 year plus.
Yeah.
Almost half the mark to the second year.
Yeah, correct. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed.
Mm.
Because you always hear very bad things,
Yes.
but I always have to remind myself that I cannot focus on the bad. Like, people get relapse, then suddenly got bone cancer or whatever, right? Very scary.
So how has that affected your day-to-day life?
In the beginning, right, I have to really confess, right, that no matter how positive you are, right, you will still wake up in cold sweat. You will still wake up in the middle of the night and like, what's going to happen? What if I have a relapse?
Yeah.
Am I going to die? It's like, it's real. And then, but after some time, you sort of get used to the idea. And then, people are like that one. Then they were like, 已经 okay 了，一下子的，可能没有这样衰. Then, life goes on. So for me, it's the same thing. At first, I was really very scared.
Yeah.
Then after that, because of, whatever that I went through already, all the treatments, and then now every time I go review, getting the results. So setting a routine, right? It actually helps. And then, just carry on. Keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Pray. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this very important part to everyone, right? About the buying of the insurance.
This one's not I tell her to say one.
No, it's really, it's not you tell me to say one. No, it's really true because everybody thinks that, the cancer, you cannot claim because stage 1, right?
Yes, correct.
No, stage 1 cancer is considered critical illness. So I actually claim all my policies.
Wow, so you are
700千. Very, very frank. 跟你讲700千. 就是这样. It's like not even that, right? So like my education policy for my children, the premium are all waived because I bought the rider. I bought the rider, and then all the critical illness policies. It all. People think, 哎呀，很难的啦 ，insurance agent 骗你的啦。
Yeah.
到要可以 claim 的时候，他们就不要给你钱了。No, I mean it's like. Because now the industry standard for cancer is the definition is very clear.
Yes,
what is stage 1? What is critical illness? Right?
Yeah.
跑不掉的. So as long as your the biopsy says that it is invasive cancer, then it is considered a critical illness.
Okay, and you can actually claim out everything, right? Yeah. So word of advice is actually to seek your own advisor and then make sure that your coverage is sufficient.
Yeah, when you're healthy.
Yeah, when you're healthy, because when something happens to you, it's gonna be too late.
No, I can't even buy insurance now. And it's crazy. Like that day, I just like someone, those random people come to you, right? And they say, and I'm like, okay. Then the first thing I say, but I have breast cancer. Then you cannot buy.
Yeah,
so it's really cannot buy. I think even after 5 years that they declare me cancer free, right? Yeah. It really depends on the insurer. Yeah,
it depends and to see whether can also apply for appeal or not All this is case by case studies.
It's just like my son, right?
Yeah.
Heart defect, right? After even now he's 7 years old,
cannot get anything.
Even with a flood. I mean, even like
also cannot.
All the insurer don't want to insure him.
Yeah, because when something already happened to you, right? Why would a company want to take on that risk?
Okay, that's fair.
So it's
like when you're healthy.
Yeah, correct. So that's the reason why we always urge people to actually get themselves sufficiently covered, not even overspending. should anything happens, right? At least
People think that I'm advertising.
no lah,
right.
it's okay.
No,
Because
it's
you-
actually from my own heart.
yeah. So like such that even especially when you're going through things like that, when your son is going through a surgery, or like for example you're going through a radiotherapy, right? Emotionally you are already very drained, correct?
Yeah.
So it's even harder if your family has to actually set aside or find time to actually go and 凑那个钱 to
Correct,
actually find that money to actually give
Yes.
you for the treatment.
Yes. So you're right. So even now, right, my cancer treatment is all covered by the private shield.
Yeah. So important to
Important.
yeah. Okay. So as you can actually hear from Danielle sharing, right, that the moment she actually heard this bad news, her brain just immediately launched to, okay, what's the worst case scenario? So she will try to embrace the fact that, okay, this is what happened to me. I acknowledge the fact that this already happened. What's the worst that can go? Right.
Yeah.
After that, what's the next step is how to solve this issue instead of wallowing in that negativity or wallowing in that fact that, oh, this happened to me, sian, the life's gonna end.
But to be fair, maybe some people are just born more negative. So
yeah,
it will help if
give them some time, meaning
talk to people.
yeah, talk to people, give yourself some time to actually let that soak in. Soak in. Yeah. And then after
And
that,
then jump out of it and quickly go and find the solution already.
yeah, correct. So that's a very good piece of advice for all of us who's actually dealing with something like this. Yeah.
I think, I think people need friends, need family
Even
to
friends.
bounce off thoughts.
Yeah.
Keeping it in yourself is good.
So do you actually surround yourself with like-minded individual, or
I have
how do
many,
you
many
select?
good friends.
Yeah,
I'm very blessed.
how's your friends? How's your group of friends
I
like?
have a lot. I have very good supportive friends.
Mm.
Yeah. That time when I got cancer, right? The 于人生
Everything.
I tell you, it's 源源不绝. It's like until like I'm thinking whether I can finish off the chicken essence or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very grateful for all the friendships that I have.
Okay.
Very important lah.
Yeah, so touching on the support system, do you have any words of advice for people who actually have got family members who are going through cancer or like cancer treatment, things like that? What are some things that they can actually do if let's say their friends have it, how to show support?
Yeah, I think so. One of my very good friends offered to ferry me every day to do the radiotherapy, right? Yeah, I mean it's the thought that counts. So yeah, if you know of any, I mean sometimes just giving your helping hand, even to look after their kids when they go for treatment, or like what I say, right, offering them a ride just to accompany them, it actually makes a lot of difference. So yeah, if you have really friends or relatives, because you see the thing is, right, you never know when you also have that situation, and when you will think, hey, if only I have that friend, or if only I have that relative who actually cares about me that much. Right? I mean, it helps to have a husband lah, but then he also have to work look after the kids, right? But if your other friends, and then some of your friends can also, talk to you and keep telling you, you all play mahjong with you just to keep you entertained, that kind. Yeah.
Okay, that's the best. That's the best kind of friend. I only need my mahjong friends. My mahjong kakis. Then what about for mothers who actually have got kids who actually went through or like going through the same situation as you?
Yeah, I think we are very blessed to be in Singapore. Singapore doctors are really, they are very, very skilled. I mean, and our facilities, our hospitals are actually very well equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So trust in the medical system here, right? And then like what I say, right, I also need to tell people, right, that when we are born as Singaporeans, we are automatically covered by the Medishield, regardless of the congenital defect that you have.
Correct.
Different from private shield. So even if you don't have a private shield, right, you need you know that you are actually provided for, and then your expenses will be covered. So my son, right, if he have been born in a private hospital, it will cost about 200,000. But because he's born in NUH, I stay in the C ward. So that the whole thing, actually I think only minus from my medicine about $4,000 only. So
Oh.
200,000 versus 4,000. And that's because
Okay.
he's a Singaporean and his bond covered by medicine and heavily subsidized by the government. So I would say that if you really have children in that situation, trust in the system, get advice from the doctor, because it's also the doctor who told me, hey,
Yeah.
you don't go and give birth in the private hospital, huh?
Mm.
You go and get a referral
Yeah.
to NUH. They have a high risk pregnancy team there that will look after you well,
Mm.
and then they will also have a team of people to look after your son well.
Okay.
Yeah, so really seek the advice. Don't just be unhappy about it, right?
Yeah.
Seek the advice and trust the system. Actually, I think in Singapore we are still very blessed.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
But of course, people will say, oh yeah, but then public hospital must wait 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to
get the
yeah.
ward
But then
lah.
if it's I always believe that it's really critical, right? Like my son's case, right?
yeah,
It will just be given to you long.
as long as
I
you
sound so pro PAP, oh my god.
pro PAP.
Pro the government. But I would say some of the policies are really good lah, at least
Yeah.
for this medical one. Yeah.
Okay. Then being because you are in a rather high level position in your current career, right? I'm
Okay
pretty
lah,
sure.
mid management lah, not very high lah.
Yeah, so managing a team lah,
Yeah.
Managing a team. At the same time, you also need to manage your kids at home, Yeah, how
It's the
how-
same one.
Yeah,
Just bang. No, just kidding. Managing a team. No, so my job is actually like project based, right? So every time, but I'm a very, how to say, focused, very driven, like how
task focus.
Yeah, task focus. I will give them timeline, have weekly meeting. All these
Yeah.
things I do like to make sure that I deliver, right? At home actually it's the same
Same thing.
leh.
You give your kids time.
So before they go to school so before they come home from school,
yeah.
I will already write on the whiteboard. Each of them has a small whiteboard like that. And then I'll write number 1, today you do this homework, finish by what time?
Wow.
Second one, do this homework, finish by this time.
Okay.
Then this one, break for 10 minutes, and then you can go and bathe. Training. You know that kind?
Yeah. So you're training your children to be mini
No,
yous.
children needs to have a routine.
Okay.
They need to have a routine. You cannot just, like for my daughter, right? Once she have this routine, right? Because my daughter is actually a very independent person. She will just come back and then she will refer and then she will just do lor. And to her, it is not a hassle anymore. It's not like very tedious. To her, it's normal. It's a routine. You have to build it into your children. Yeah. Like what I say, your parents, you need to help them.
Help them to discover the best potential in them, lah. Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, actually, right, in life, who do you respect the most?
I think my father. It's like my father is like he's really that kind that even at work he's respected. At home he's also very well respected because he's a very disciplined person and he's a very responsible person. So I always look up to him. And he got very high EQ, and then I realized that he just have a lot of good friends that actually thinks that he's like the super nice person.
But is he?
Yeah, he is. And then he always say that he 人见人爱车见车会载我 that kind, So
what's the phrase for it? There's this in Cantonese is small.
人見人愛車見車載
Yeah. So directly translate is
人見人愛車見車載
English. People see people like
the car see already also like you have to give you a right.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's that kind of person that have very good EQ and very good high IQ also. So my math are really, after work, no matter how late he OT, right, he will come back and teach me my math. I think my math is maybe the only other subject that got A star. Last time was the A star, right?
I think so.
In PSLE.
Wow. I think
以
so.
前我没有
It's been very
tuition 的
long ago, I
everything
can't
是我
remember.
father 教出来的，很厉害。
So I guess actually your father actually rubbed off a lot on you.
Yes.
Being a perfectionist, competitive.
Yeah, he must be super punctual one.
Uh,
He will not let other people wait for him, and that's what I respect about him. He say you have to respect other people's time. That's why you always have to be punctual. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, lor. So it's like small values that build a person, I think.
So you feel like he actually shaped you to be who you are today. Right.
I think so.
Huge part of it.
Huge part of it. Okay, I cannot live on my mother also. Of course, my mom, she's a homemaker. Yeah, but she also showers us with a lot of love lah. To be very honest. Yeah, actually she's a very smart lady. Yeah, it's just that
That's why your
because of
father
us.
看上。
没有，因为我妈的漂亮，她看上，
Okay,
不是因为她是
okay.
smart lady， 身材又好。
哇，very。
我每次都问我妈的，为什么你身材这样好？你看我平平这样。
You also quite 好玩。
No, okay 啦。The only 好 part is 要讲给人家羡慕。Actually, I have never been fat before.
哇，这个
I'm very angry when people always ask me, why you so? 为什么你这样瘦？为什么你这样瘦 ？I'm like 我已经吃很多了，我不知道为什么这样瘦。But then you realize that when the older you get, right, when people keep asking you this already, wow, then you now feel very happy already.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, but when you're younger, right,
yeah.
you feel that wow, so unattractive, bag of bones, you know. Yeah, that is also an image thing. I think I never weigh more than 35 kg like for the longest time.
I haven't seen 35 since primary school.
I look back at my own photos, right? Wow, 真的是 good you know, good.
Like maintain until very good
No, it's not. It's just the genes, right? My brother is also quite skinny, but he managed to build up. It's the genes lah. It's the genes. It's just very skinny. They call it the defective gene. Can never get.
I think if you say it to someone else, they might want to.
Yeah, that's why I say it here already. People are going to whack me.
I myself want to whack you. I eat a little bit, I fat already.
Yeah, you bring only your fat.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming down today to share with us. Before we end, any last piece of advice or things that you actually want to share with the audience?
Last piece of advice.
Yeah, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, I share already, but it's really the annual health checkup very important.
Don't skip the annual.
So don't skip annual health checkup.
Yeah.
Never skip the annual health checkup. It's very important.
Actually, with regards to that, sometimes I do hear from some of my clients, right, is that they are afraid to go for annual health checkup because they are scared of what the results will show. So it's a bit of like a reverse mindset kind of thing. And it's not just for the older peeps. So not just for the older people. People who are in their 30s and 40s, they feel like, I feel my body not very good. Then they will fear actually going for the annual health checkup even more because they say that I go check up already, later from nothing become got something.
But if you have something, you will be something. There will be not nothing. So if there will be something and then it is too late already.
Yeah.
Too late already. If you get cancer, then you will have to go for chemo. You know chemo, right? You know that when the results came out, right? And then it's like, because still have to see how aggressive that thing is, right? To whether I need to go chemo, right? I tell you that 1 week really
terrible week.
Very terrible lah. It's like 女孩子 right? 你怕掉头发 right? And my husband is like, 你去 chemo 你怕掉头发 I think that's the main concern, right? No, she said that should be the least worry.
That should be the least worry.
But to me, it's the most worrying thing, right? I mean, of course, there's a two and all the other effect, but I'm really perpetually in pain, right? So to me, maybe it's not that. So to me, it's really my hair.
Wear a wig.
It's different one. Yeah, because I always go to the cancer clinic, right? I see those people, I feel very sad also lah for them. You see people who are very young one. It's like, why the young people are here actually?
Yeah, so actually, in fact, breast cancer is the top diagnosed cancer in...
I think 1 out of 4 person.
Yes, 1 out of
4 women.
1 out of 4 women get diagnosed with breast cancer, at least in Singapore. Not sure whether other people. Maybe because Singapore stress, high level stress is fine.
I don't know.
But otherwise, very thankful for your sharing here today and for actually imparting some wise knowledge on how to handle stress.
I hope I did help.
Definitely.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, Ken. Okay. Yeah. So, yes. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chin Up and Rise. We have also collated the key pointers of today's episodes. All you can do is actually click the link down below to have access to all this. And you can also follow us on the social media handles down below for more content and update. Before you go, do remember to give us a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.